Good morning to everyone. Welcome to a new day at UPA News. Today we're going to start with the weather pronostic. In Puebla, the maximum temperature will be of 29 degrees Celsius and the minimum will be of 12 degrees Celsius with a 20% of probability of rain. The sun will set at 6 a.m. and go down at 6:30 p.m. Today we're going to start with the coronavirus. This virus is quickly growing in our country, with 717 confirmed cases, 4 recovered cases, and 12 diseases. And in our city, that is Puebla, there are 45 confirmed cases, so we recommend you to stay at home and follow all the tips to prevent it. In other news, a few hours ago, two archaeologists called Renata Cervantes and Cecilia Trejo discovered a new pyramid in Cholula. Let's go with my partner Regina Sol, who is in the place with them right now. Let's go with you, Regina.
Thank you, Mirna. I am here in Cholula, Puebla with these two archaeologists that today made an awesome discovery. A few hours ago, they discovered a new pyramid here in Cholula that, according to them, it was built many years ago. I'm gonna make them some questions so we can know more about them and about the pyramid. But first, tell me, Cecilia and Renata, how do you feel about making this discovery?
Thank you, Regina. Well, I am very excited about this because no one before had noticed this pyramid, and we did, and well, it is incredible that we are the first ones that discovered this.
Yes, we feel extremely excited because, as Renata said, we are the first one who made this discovery, and now the history books can add this so they can teach all the children of the world about this new pyramid.
How important do you think is this discovery for history?
I think it's very important because we can know more about the ancient cultures right now, but we don't know if it's from a culture that we already know or if it's about a new culture. And if it's about a new culture, this discovery will be way more important than it already is.
It is important because, as Ceci said, there are a lot of things that we know about our past, but there are also things that we don't know. And well, it's interesting for all the people to realize that. And now that we discovered this pyramid, we can be part of the history and many people can learn about it.
According to the characteristics that this pyramid presents, towards which culture is more inclined? And you can tell us some more other facts that you discovered?
Well, it presents characteristics from the Aztec culture, but we are not completely sure about it. And well, we know that this pyramid was created in the 1610s and it was used to make sacrifices. It was really important in that time. And we got some measurements, but my partner Ceci is going to explain that.
We can only get two measurements. The side of the base measures 215.25 meters and the elevation angle measures 59.04 degrees. We want to know the side and the height of the pyramid, but we don't know much about math, so we brought a specialist, Yamile.
Thank you, Ceci and Renata. Okay, so as they said, I'm a mathematician. So with the measurements and the info they gave me, I'm going to explain you how to get the side of the pyramid and the height of the whole pyramid. So for this, we are going to need and use two topics.
Okay, so the first topic is trigonometric radius. We know that in a right triangle, there is an angle of 90 degrees and that it is formed by two sides and by a hypotenuse that is right in front of the angle. To describe the precise relationship between these side lengths and an angle, we can use trigonometric radius. For this, we need to name both sides according to the angle. The first side we will call it adjacent, that is the one next to the angle, and the other side we will call it opposite because it's right in front of the angle. Now that we know all the name of the sides of the triangle, I can explain you the 6 different trigonometric radius. The first trigonometric radio is called sin, or sin of the angle. It will be equal to the length of the opposite side over the length of the hypotenuse. The next one is called cosine of the angle. It will be equal to the length of the adjacent side over the length of the hypotenuse. And finally, the tangent. It will be equal to the length of the opposite side over the length of the adjacent side. But we also have reciprocals for these radius, that are the three ones that are left. The first one is cosecant, that is the reciprocal of sin. If sin is opposite over hypotenuse, cosecant will be hypotenuse over the opposite side. Then we have the secant, that is the reciprocal of cosine. So instead of adjacent over hypotenuse, it is hypotenuse over adjacent. And finally cotangent, which is the reciprocal of tangent. So instead of the opposite side over the adjacent side, it is the adjacent side over the opposite. Now the other topic is Pythagorean theorem, easier than the last one. The Pythagorean theorem states that the sum of the squares of the sides equals the square of the hypotenuse. So it is represented by the following equation: a squared plus b squared equals c, where a and b are the sides and c is the hypotenuse. This means that if we have two sides of a right triangle, we can calculate the third one. So now that we know these two topics, we can calculate the height of the side of the pyramid and the height of the whole pyramid. Ceci and Renata gave me these two measurements. So first we are gonna work with trigonometric radius. The first thing I did was to divide the side of the pyramid into two to get a right triangle. After this, we get a right triangle which its base measures 107.625 meters. Its angle of elevation is 55.04 degrees. As we need to get the length of the other side in order to get the height, I'm gonna use tangent, that is the opposite side. In this case, I'm gonna name it x, and the adjacent side, that is the base of the triangle. So when we substitute the data in the formula, we get that tangent of 59.04 degrees is equal to x over 107.625. As we need to know the value of x, we need to isolate it. 107.625 is dividing x, so we need to pass it multiplying to the other side. Finally, we get that tangent of 59.04 degrees multiplied by 107.625 is equal to x. And after solving it, we get that x is equal to 179.4. Now we know the height of the side. Let's get the height of the pyramid. For this, we're gonna make another right triangle, but now the hypotenuse will be the height of the side of the pyramid. So we get another triangle with the exact same base of the last one, because the base of the pyramid is a square. And we get that one side measures 107.625 and the hypotenuse measures 179.4. For this, we are gonna use the Pythagorean theorem. We just need to substitute the data that we have in the formula. So we get that 107.625 squared plus b squared equals 179.4 squared. Solving the data that we have until now, we get that 11,583.14 plus b squared equals 32,184.36. Again, we need to isolate b, that is the value that we don't know. So as 11,583.14 is adding, it will pass subtracting. So we get that b squared is equal to 32,184.36 minus 11,583.14. Doing the subtraction, we get that b squared equals 20,601.22. Finally, we need to get the square root of b squared and the other number in order to get the value of b. And after solving it, we get that b is equal to 143.53, and with three significant figures, we get 144. So now we have the height of the whole pyramid. My name was Yamile Lino, and I hope this was useful for you. Thank you.
So this is the news that I had for you. So far my report. We go back to the studio.
Thank you, Regina. I'm happy that we have a new pyramid and I hope that we can visit it soon. Thank you for watching us. This is all for today. We see you tomorrow with more news.